You're up.
Hey, here we are. Hey, everyone. Welcome. We'll be seeing you in about 10 seconds.
And we are live. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight at the DNA Authority. I'm Jolly Cortez.
And I am Anita Myers. It is Wonder Woman Wednesday. We've had such an experience of adventure in our days. And more than anything, I'm really glad that unfortunately, we were really sorry about last week. We weren't able to do our thing, but we're back today. And we're going to be talking to you about the power of entrepreneurship.
I love it. Yes. Hello, darling.
Hey, hey.
How are you this lovely evening?
Well, I'm making do. I feel like I need to have a lot of hands, just like like one of the Hindu goddesses. Like I just want to have like more arms show up and get things done. So this is where I'm at. Where are you at? I feel like I've been talking to a lot of people. Here, let me move this over here. I feel like I've been talking to a lot of people who are feeling drained.
Yeah, that would be me. That would absolutely be me. I have been working overtime plus, and I've been feeling a tad overwhelmed. Let's put it
What is overtime for people like you and me? I don't even know what that is because our regular scheduled thing seems like it's overtime according to the rest of the world.
Well, we are going to be talking about entrepreneurship, but I will say that entrepreneurs are the only crazy people that will leave a 40-hour work job to work 80 hours a week and then some.
No kidding. No kidding.
And then some. But no, you know what? I'm feeling good. But there has been. I actually decided to take a moment, and I wrote out my to-do list. So could you imagine what Dolly Cortez's to-do list looks like?
It's you said, did you say rolled out? Because I saw the scroll, like leave your hand, go all the way down to the floor.
Pretty much. I literally like wrote it all out, and but I meant like wrote, not rolled it, but wrote it all out. And I had 35 items on that list, and I'm like, and it's not just pick up the laundry. It's just like, this is not even personal. This is all business. So it's just been a little crazy.
Yeah, and you know what? This is perfect. Like this is all about it's business. And you and I had a conversation, I don't even know, maybe a month ago or so, maybe, or shorter. I don't know. I never know because we talk about so many different things, but it was about entrepreneurship. And I'm glad that we have a chance to kind of discuss that this time. We've been challenging ourselves with all the different things we're doing. We know that we're on here that starts at 8:00 Central. So those of you that are watching right now, make sure you say hi to us. If you see this on a replay, still say hi to us. We say hi back. We always say hi back. But, we wanted to talk to those of you who are interested in getting involved with entrepreneurship. This world and landscape has changed. We know this. A lot of things have changed. A lot of opportunities for people to start being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And other people have been given situations that are negative, like, you're working in this company for X amount of years. We've all kind of been there. Actually, Dolly and I have been there. You work in this company, you're dependent on the company decides to let you go for whatever the reason is, lay off, this furlough, whatever. But then you finally sit in your place, wherever that is, and you go through a lot of emotions, but eventually you might come to the point of like, I've always liked XYZ. What if I just started a business about that? Or I'm really good at this. What if I just started a business about that? So I'm really excited that we're going to start tapping our little pinky toe into the pool of.
I love that. I love that. Hey, we have the ladies here. Hello, Marina Costina and Sonia. Hi. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight. By the way, really quick, before we really dive into the topic, I just have to say that I love your hair.
Do you? Do you really? I mean, your son is my hairstylist, Danny Rosario. Where are you?
He's out to dinner with his father.
Okay, well, Danny is officially my hairstylist. I've worked with him now for about 2 years, and I remember I cautiously got involved because when I'm just going to say that when you grow up, when you're a child, when you're young, you go to hairstylists, and they're all of a certain age. They're all adults.
Right.
I've always been with an adult. And one thing led to another. And when I met Dolly and I needed to get my hair done, I wanted to put together the cover picture for my book, The Undercover Superhero. And she was like, oh, my son will do it. And her son was 16 years old. And so I kind of did one of those things. No disrespect to Danny. He knows I love him.
He knows.
He's so delicious. I love him so much. But I kind of went, yeah, maybe. I don't know. One thing leads to another. The guy has been the best I have ever had. I modeled for 10 years in the Chicagoland area. I've traveled around the globe. I've had my hair done by lots of different people in nice spas, all that stuff. Danny is the best. So anyway, I go to him.
You're welcome.
He is.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All I got to say.
Because I can't. I'm so happy with him. I am so happy. I don't ever want to lose him. I love him so much. So anyway, I went to see him last night, and he's the kind of hairstylist I love because he's an artist and he is so wise. He is so past his. He's so past his time. And he says to me, I'm telling you, Anita, we're going to get you back to brightening up again. He wants the blonde, calls it blonde because he still keeps my dark roots in there, but he kind of lightens it up like it's summer. So I said, your son has changed the way I approach things because now I'm like, yeah.
You do realize, Anita, that he started at the age of 12.
I know he's one of those brilliant ones that always knew his purpose from the moment he was born.
He's an entrepreneur. Speaking of,
that's right.
More to share on that. Yeah, no, it's been a hell of a journey.
Yeah. But thank you, by the way. I this is just a thing. It's just a thing. I'm doing the thing. I have the sun in my hair and I'm welcoming spring. Maybe this is going to be some good juju. So I get that spring sun every day, all the time.
That works for me. And speaking of good juju, you had a challenge taking place for the month of February. Would you like to?
I just wanted to, it popped up in my mind and I wanted to do it. And I was really grateful for the opportunity that some of the people, people were participating in it and reaching out to me. So this was something that's called my, I'll say it this way. Let me set it up.
I'm gonna share that picture. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, you can. That's fine. So I was thinking about February, and everyone thinks about people's love life. What's my love life look like? It's so sad and depressing. I don't have somebody. I remember that. I used to be there. I used to be that person that was single and things didn't work out and I was on my own. And besides that, sometimes you are in a relationship and you got a divorce. You're in a relationship and you lost your spouse. All these certain circumstances, or even you're in a relationship and the relationship isn't going as well as you'd like to. And here we are on Valentine's. Right. So I really wanted to take people's attention away from the thing that society and communities keep grooming you to lean towards. It's always about that significant other. I just wanted to kind of point at, what is your love life? What does your love life look like? Does it always depend on having that significant other? Can it be other things that are part of your love life. Let's look at that. So I put together this challenge that's called the My Love Life Challenge. And all I did was I wanted to ask people to start looking at where's the love? Where else is the love in your life? So through February, if you saw something or someone or saw an experience or had an experience, just a moment that actually brought love back into your heart or made your eyes kind of go, oh, that's so beautiful. Capture it and put a hashtag on it and tag me to it. And we got some really nice pictures that came from that shared people's love lives. And I thought it was really nice to be able to share that. So we can go ahead and share some with you.
So I'm going to put up my all-time favorite of all the pictures that you shared because I thought this was just amazing. So I'm going to start with that because I can.
Yeah, you can. That's right, Dolly.
Here we go.
Oh my goodness. So big shout out to my girlfriend, Missy Wittenberg-Lukowski. And she actually tagged me to this picture for a couple of reasons. But the main reason she tagged me to it was she was looking at this picture. And if you can take a moment to see the picture, the image is beautiful. It is Chicago. It's a Chicago river on a Tuesday night. And they call it Chiberia because Chicago's so darn cold. If you just focus your eyes, if you have a chance to now or later on, towards the bottom, there's all these broken pieces of ice. But there's this one on the very left, around the left side, that's a heart. And so my girlfriend tagged me to it and asked me if I could see it. And I love being able to try to find where the hearts are. That's my thing, my jam. So I have this thing called Hearts Do Matter with my book and everything. So when I saw this, it just, I had a day where it was challenging, lots of things to do. And my head was focused on that. And I saw that and it made me have a better day. So that was part of my love life. And I posted that.
I love that. I love that. All right. How about this one?
Oh, okay. This goes out. The total shout out to my friend Elon Cohen. I've known him forever from grade school. Elon actually, his wife captured this. There's a video that is Elon in his car. And all he did was drive to back up and leave and go to work. But on the camera, it showed, which we don't have the video right now to show you. We just have the picture. He ended up making those two hearts. And his wife was like, what a great Valentine's Day gift. I don't even know if he realizes we were so happy. And so that's what he shared. And I thought that was so great. What a great love life to have when your husband leaves you a message like that before he goes to work and he didn't even know it.
I love it. I thought it was just too cute.
Yeah.
What about this one right here?
Oh, Lori Trachtenberg, big shout out to her. She went ahead and she did the same thing. You see, it says hashtag my love life. She says no explanation needed. Take a look at her beautiful dog who's having the time of his life. And I'm sure as she's taking him for a walk and, doggy's like, you know what? I'm just going to roll in the snow and you're going to watch me. Yeah. And she just probably did what most of us do, fall in love, melt all over the place, just total love.
Okay, perfect.
This is my daughter. I posted this myself, actually. Every day I'm trying to post something that involves my love life. And my daughter and I were having a conversation. She was sharing some things with me, and she was doodling up there. If you see the cloud and there's the heart. I didn't question too many things about it. I just saw it and I gasped in a good way, like, oh, it's so beautiful. I love what she drew. And I said, without more conversation, I said, if there's a sentence that can express what you drew, can you share that? And she wrote that. There is still love through the storm.
I love that. I didn't realize the little sad face on the cloud at one point.
Yeah, it meant so much to me. I noticed I noticed all of it in one fell swoop. But what I noticed the most was the fact that her message. I know a lot of times parents might jump to conclusions and they want to look at the sad cloud. I actually looked at the heart. And when I saw what she wrote, she says, there is still love through the storm. And it told me more that all of us have sad clouds every so often. But to know that there's love and it'll get you through the storm, that's what matters. And so in her situation, nothing grandiose, just, sharing information. But what I loved more than anything was that she believed that there is still love through the storm. And she drew that. So that meant everything to me.
I love that. Love that. Here we go. About this little guy.
Oh, yes. My buddy, Steven Namberg. I don't know if he's going to watch it right now, but he he, this picture was very dear for him. And in fact, if you notice, it's on YouTube. He participated in this challenge, and he was really thinking, he didn't really have to think very hard on this. This is his most favorite cherished Rottweiler pet. And, she passed away. And so a lot of people, when you lose someone so important, a pet that's so important to you, they do different things to kind of remember. And what he did was he created this beautiful montage, this beautiful memory tribute of her. And this is just part of it. But that's all that's a part of his love life. When he thinks about it, he thinks of how much he loved her and tributes her. So I thought that was really beautiful. And I can relate to that. All of us who have ever had pets, they're very important to us. So that is definitely a part of our love life to focus on. Absolutely. I love that. And how about this one? Oh, my heart just melted. This is my friend. Shout out to Beth Ann Phillips. It seems to me, it's just such a beautiful moment that many of us who love anybody, she looks up and she sees her daughter at the top of that hill, and look how happy her daughter is. And she grabbed that shot. It says, "My 16-year-old daughter at the park." And that's enough said. It's a parent looking at their child and just admiring and loving the moment. I think that's beautiful. Yeah, great shot. And then one more here. Yes, my amazing girlfriend, Lisa Friedman. She is someone who did something I thought was so awesome. I'll just read what she said here. "I was driving by the town park last night and saw these teenagers happily playing hockey on the frozen basketball court in -1 degree weather. I thought it was nice to see friends make the time for each other, especially in such cold weather. They were so nice when I asked if I could snap a photo." So in all honesty, she was just passing by and she saw this, and it meant something to her that she didn't just pass by and go, "That was really nice." I mean, she was so taken that she stopped and asked if they'd take a picture, and they all, can you imagine that moment? That's so beautiful. Yeah. Well, and that was part of her love life. What I really like about this challenge was that you thought of it and that you, but I really liked it. And I apologize. I just been in my own little bubble world to participate. Please don't apologize. That's the thing. This was the first time that it came to me to do this, and I will do this. In fact, look, this was for February, but you can do this anytime you like. It's a My Love Life challenge. Start today and make it go all the way to the end of the year, or do it by month. The point that I want to make everyone kind of pay attention to, and it may have started this month because of February, but the point I really wanted to get across to a lot of people is there's more to your love life than you give credit for. So you should love your spouse and your boyfriend, your girlfriend, all that's there. Do all that. If you have that and you're very fortunate, it's wonderful. But also look at the other areas that you've got so much love in your life, and we don't always give attention to it. And when you do, even in your day being busy, I know all these people that I just shared with you, they all got busy days. They all got stuff going on, but their eyes have that love lens. Yeah. That I like to use that word. They have it, and they captured it in real life. They captured it on their camera and they posted it. And I think if you can do that starting today, and you do it all the time, post My Love Life, tag me to it. I'd love to hear it. And you never know, it might turn into a book. Hey, maybe it will. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for doing that. I think it's beautiful that you're doing that. And maybe it's kind of like it makes me think of maybe I'll slow down and smell the roses. Yeah, we all should. I think there's a lot going on out, there's ourselves that I talk to a lot of people, and some of the clients I work with, no one's looking within enough. We're always so strongly pulled to everything external. So to take that moment, like you said, just kind of go back to centering to your own energy and get grounded a little bit, and not get in trouble, get grounded, but really ground yourself to the earth and feel the energy that you have for your existence and really honor it. Because then I think when you do that, you start pulling good things from everywhere around you, and the path opens up to doing new things, to breathing better, to smiling more, I love that sort of thing. Good job, girlfriend. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Okay.
All right, darling. So I am excited to be talking to you tonight about the power of entrepreneurship. How about you, Mima?
I love it. I look forward to it.
Well, you know what? So this is how this started, everyone. So Anita and I were obviously we're talking all the time. We're always talking about the show or some business thing that is taking place, or we're helping each other out every possible way that we can. We're also friends, of course. So, we're always in communication. But one of the things that came up very recently was how, she's an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. We both also know a lot of people that are entrepreneurs. And we're like, this stuff is really not taught at school. And this is a comment that I made to you, if you recall, Anita. I would get so frustrated when I would see that the teachings in school was really focusing on you, teaching you to become an employee. Finish it. You have to get a good job. You have to get good grades so you could get a good job, so that you could get a decent salary. And of course, you have to get your degree, because you with the degree will get paid more than one without. And it's okay if you have $200,000 of student loans. It will pay off eventually with a good paying job.
You know, it's I like to call it like a master servant mentality. That's the way it is. You've got the teacher who's the master, the students that are the servant, and you are learning that the next thing that you do, if you notice how the gradual change. I mean, when I say change, it's just the backdrop changes, and now instead of being in the classroom, now you're in an office desk, and you've got the teacher that is the manager, and you are sitting at your desk again. And while there are definitely opportunities to have some leadership, the general consensus is you shall remain in a chair for the rest of your life.
Oh my God!
Don't have to do that.
I can't do that. I can't do that. So I also shared with my beautiful and amazing Anita Myers Powers that I had over 20 jobs in my lifetime. Okay. And part of that reason was because, and I was just always searching for more. I always felt that I needed to do more. I always felt like, okay, I did that. Next, I did that. Now I'm bored. Next, I want to try something new. Next. And it was just constantly learning and teaching. So I knew deep down inside, I consider myself like a serial entrepreneur.
I thought you were going to say killer. I just got so scared. I'm like, is this the time where you say this? What? Okay, yeah, serial entrepreneur.
I consider myself a serial entrepreneur. I've always had business in my mind. As a young girl, I've always tried to figure things out. I mean, I had little businesses even while I was in high school. I was always figuring out, like, all right, I can maneuver this, and make some money here, make some money there. It was always in me. So I wanted to.
I'm totally not you. I'm totally not you.
Well,
it's not a bad thing. It's just really interesting to see that I didn't even have that. I just was like, I don't want to own a business. I did not want to do it. My story later.
I always wanted to, and I was always looking for that right opportunity for me to be in the right business. And it's funny because even years ago, I got involved and I don't even know if you know this, but I got involved with personalized children's books. Did I ever tell you that?
No.
Yeah. So I would do personalized children's books, and I left it for, whatever reason. But I was always doing something. So I figured that I wanted to reach out and talk to those of you out there who have just that inkling of entrepreneurship inside of you and are wondering if entrepreneurship is perhaps something that you should explore. All right? Fair? So I wrote out a few benefits that I find with entrepreneurship that I have found. And I also wrote out a few cons. To my pleasant surprise, the cons were less than the benefits. So that's good. And then I'm going to share with you about 4 additional steps, quick steps on what you can do starting today if you so choose to explore the possibility of becoming an entrepreneur. Sounds good?
Yeah, I think if any of you are even remotely interested in being an entrepreneur, start here and then go from there.
Start
Totally.
here.
Worth
Start
it.
here. Start here. So, okay. So first of all, for those of you that are watching, you know, I am a publisher, and I started my publishing company in August 2018. And I absolutely love it. But like I said, I had done other things in the past. But being a publisher is what I absolutely feel it's this company. I love my company. I love what I do. I love the people that I work with. It really turned out to be the best role that I can be playing for me. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to share with you some of the benefits that I have found as an entrepreneur. And Anita, please feel free to jump in. Okay. So one, you can set your own hours, right? You can work day, night, weekends, all of them, whatever you choose. Okay. The passion. I believe that having a value aligned with your career, it doesn't feel like work. So if you love what you do, you would just absolutely enjoy being an entrepreneur. Choosing, and this is a really good one, choosing who you work with. So it could be people that you choose to hire, choose to bring into your company, but also most importantly, who are your customers going to be? You get to choose. You get to choose if you want to work with that person or if you just literally want to fire that person. You don't want to work with them. But that's actually really cool benefit. I love it. I love it. Another thing is unexpected yet thrilling experiences. You could be chosen for an award. You could end up being given a grant. You could end up being introduced to someone who takes your business to a new level. Amazing opportunities that exist. Okay. Of course, who doesn't love this one? No financial limits. What? No financial limits. Okay. That's very powerful. How about the learning curve? So I think I put learning curve as a benefit versus a con, okay? And the reason why I did that is because I consider myself a student. I learn something new every single day. And I think it's so important for you to learn something new so you can continue to grow. Do you agree?
I agree.
Awesome. Okay. Then we have the impact you can make. Okay, whether it be in a financial basis, let's say you just make a ton of money, and because of all of your success, now you're able to contribute to the charity of choice. Just imagine that impact that you can make to those people. Or you're really making an impact to all of your customers by the service that you provide. Let's start with that.
Or like if you own your thing, your whatever,
Yeah.
you don't have to go for 30 minutes of a show. You can go for 1 hour.
We have 30 minutes already. Oh my God.
Listen, here, just a quick sidebar. I wasn't saying anything because I just want to help her get through this on purpose. She has information to share with you that's really good, folks. But here's the thing. We both said that we were going to do the show for 30 minutes. And we're not able to do it.
Well, you know,
I don't want to stop. I don't
know
want to stop. I wanted to keep going. And because we're entrepreneurs, and because this is the DNA Authority, the D for Dolly, the A for Anita, and we are the authority, we can keep going.
That's
So
all.
keep going.
That's okay. Okay. So I don't know why my messages are showing now, but you know that it is showing.
So anyway, yeah.
Anyway, anyway. So okay. So then we have the leadership experience, right? Leadership experience that you will gain by having your own company, right? Okay. And then I put, you could choose where to work from. So your office location, you could choose to work in your backyard. You could choose to work on the beach if that's what you want. You could choose to work from home, or you could choose to actually rent a commercial space. You have choices so you can make. Okay. All right. Let me see. Sonia says 30 minutes is impossible for the two of us. You're absolutely right, Sonia.
I'm so challenged. I really want to get there one day. One day when I grow up, I'm going to have a show for 30 minutes. One day.
Well, this stuff is important. It's important.
Yeah, I know. But that's the beauty. That's what I mean, it's really funny, but it's also wonderful that we can do this. Like, you know what? We can be done at 11. We can be done when we want to.
When we want to, yes. And,
Yeah.
and
So,
you can't sit down for an hour and just watch us and have fun with us. Come back. Just remember.
right. And not only that, like we're not just talking. We are giving information that if you are someone that wants to get involved in actually becoming an entrepreneur, there are definitely pros about this. And, we can dwell on each one for a while, but we'll keep going.
Yep, we're going to keep going. Okay, so let's talk about the cons for a minute, right? So the cons, maybe the fear, okay, of starting. If you want to become an entrepreneur, the fear of starting. So with that, I put uncertainties. Like what's going to happen? What can you expect? What ifs, right? So I'm like, I can understand that. That's a very big concern for a lot of people that are not sure whether or not entrepreneurship is for them. And then of course, another con being everything falls on you. Based on your decisions, everything, whether they are good or bad, everything is on you. So it's a sense of accepting responsibility with that. Depending on how much financial risk is involved, that's another one. Okay, whether or not you're going to be able to pay yourself even the first year, that's a big concern. But sometimes it's not a concern if you know how to do it and if you do it right. Wearing multiple hats. At least at the very beginning. You are your salesperson, you are your administrative, you're your bookkeeper, you are the shipper, whatever it is.
You're a Hindu goddess.
Okay.
All the hands show up. You're doing it all. You're fabulous. You just have to work a little bit more because even though you are wearing many hats, it's really nice that you get to make the decision of what you want, what you don't want. Like we've talked about before. You're in full control. And sometimes that can feel very uncomfortable, but it's really about the perspective. And I think with every con that she shares, which we won't do this today, but hey, I'm up for the challenge. Every con she shares, there are like 3 pros, really. Like there really is so much good to it. You just have to know how to look at it.
Well, that's exactly my point. There's the benefits, there's the cons, but the cons I found less of. So I'm just encouraging for anyone that is interested in seeking entrepreneurship as an opportunity for themselves. This is what I suggest you do. I just wrote it down in 4 steps. So I'm almost done. 4 easy steps. Okay. So starting with 1 is define your
time. We have a half an hour. just slow your roll and just kind of groove on in through every step.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's do it.
So I can do that. Define your passion. So by that, I mean is literally write down, what do you enjoy the most? What do you enjoy? Like I remember speaking to this young lady and I told her, I get paid to speak. Isn't that awesome? I get paid to speak. I'm an MC. I'll do this. I'll do that. I've done fundraising events. People seek me out to help them because of my voice.
What are you good at? Like that's what you're saying is what are you good at? And sometimes people don't know because you're so I know you and I can share our own experiences where we were pulled to being in a company working for a business, and we do whatever it is that we do, and let's just pretend that it's all about selling fruit, and all we know is selling fruit. So sometimes when we leave a job where you're selling fruit, you just think to yourself, all I'm good at is selling fruit. Like I don't know anything else, I just know this. But when we start to kind of relax about that limited scope of what we did, we start realizing, wait a minute, I might know a thing or two about fruit. Where can that work in what I can do? Or I'm good at selling. I can sell other things. There's a lot of that. Yeah.
Transferable skills. Use your transferable skills. See, you think about fruit, I think about software.
Right.
What can't you sell? I always said that I could sell ice to an Eskimo. Why? Because I was good at it. Because it's all about how you share, how you talk to people, how But that's
I like what Rima said.
What was that?
I like what Rima said. I apologize. I started laughing. I just didn't even think about it. She says, "Getting out of our comfort zone. Try another fruit."
Exactly. Okay. So then I have on here So let's say that let's just use speaking as an example. Okay, so you want to become a motivational speaker. So research that. If there's something that may be of interest to you, research it. Ask your friends, if they have heard you speak, what do you think? Do you think that, what do you think? Give me your opinion. Ask for some feedback. Not just your friends, but ask other people, ask colleagues. Pay attention to the inquiries. Okay. And I think that's huge because I would get questions all the time about, hey, Dolly, what about this? And Dolly, what about that? That I remember a lot of conversations that I would have that made me decide that I needed to become a coach, because people were coming to me all the time asking for different services in the business world, which, I was not comfortable giving, advice on because I was not certified, but I felt there was a need. So if there's a need, pay attention to those things. Then I highly recommend, if this is something that you're interested in doing, is start part-time. Start part-time. Maybe start it on weekends or start it on evenings. And maybe if you want to go into coaching or you want to go into speaking, go ahead and just get out there and make your services available and start part-time. Start with maybe one speaking gig a month or two speaking gigs a month. You want to practice? Get on Clubhouse. Get an iPhone for that. But you get in Clubhouse. It's all about speaking. You could create your own room and you could have thousands of people listening to you. So there's just so many different ways that you can start with minimal or no cost.
Well, so when it comes down to it, though, there's a lot of once you start realizing what you're good at and you're doing the research, you're going to learn that there are people that this is the best part of the concept of leadership here. When you know something really well and you're really good at this, there are people that are not good at it. There are people that are suffering from pain of something involving that. Pain could be loss or not having it. Like, for example, if you're someone who sells software for a specific program for whatever company, and you're selling software to other companies, you're selling the features of that software to companies that don't have that feature. So
Correct.
they have pain because they don't have this wonderful thing. So it doesn't matter what it is that you're offering, whether it's a product or a service. When you realize what the pain is from the market, and you I almost feel like a lot of the times the words, like the word entrepreneurship, is like a very mouthy word. It can be intimidating. The word selling and sales is intimidating. Change the wording up so it can feel better for you. I know that I've talked with some people that I know that struggle with this. And when it comes to selling, they don't like to sell. They feel uncomfortable. But what if you just change it from selling to help? How can I help someone? How can I help them get to having more than themselves? All of a sudden, it's a relationship that you're building where you're helping somebody. It's not about sales as much,
No, I cannot agree with you more, because I'll tell you this. Okay, so for anyone out there that's listening to us today, I'll tell you this. Anything that you do is sales. Whether you want to admit it or accept it, I have to break it to you. You're selling. If you answer the phone, you have to. You're selling. Why? Because people do business with people that they know, they like, and they trust. And Anita Myers-Powers, if they like you, they're going to want to do business with you. The same thing with me. If they like me, they're going to want to do business with me. People come to me. I'm not out there promoting like crazy all the time, but I am unbelievably swamped. Why? Because I get referrals. Why do I get referrals? Because people like me, because they like the quality of work that I do, because of the service that I provide. That's all selling. So don't shy away from your skill set. Embrace it.
That's everything that I believe in. And I wouldn't have ever thought of this, because I just said earlier on, I never wanted to own a business. I didn't want to be that person because I watched my father. I mean, he did it. That was his thing. He was great at numbers, Dolly numbers. He's so good at those things. And he did so well in owning his own business, but he didn't just start off that way. He learned it from his experiences of working for someone else and observing. But when it came down to me making a decision, that's another story for another day. But in short, what I ended up realizing is and more so after writing my books, with you. Okay. I already knew it before, but it really sealed the deal after I wrote and talked about my purpose and why am I doing what I'm doing and seeing the reactions coming by. There are a lot of people that don't have the information and knowledge that I do.
Right.
And there are a lot of people that don't have the information and knowledge that you do. So
Right.
when you know that there are people that don't know what you know, all you're doing is showing what you know and sharing it with your passion, and there's a value to it.
So I have to say this. No, I wasn't laughing at you. You just reminded me of something. Okay. And that is, like sometimes Hector would say, Hector's my husband. So sometimes he would say, hey babe, do you know anything about this? And I'm like, oh yeah, of course, and then I'm like, let me tell you this, you invest in the stock market by doing this, da, 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 da. And then he goes, okay, great. Next day, hey babe, have you heard of this? Oh yeah, of course, da, 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 da. So I'm just, spilling it all out. And I tell him, I have a lot of junk in here. I just have so much information because I'm always reading, because I'm always learning, because I'm always, researching, and I'm always, just captivated by new things, So I always encourage to read, to learn, and to just grasp onto new skill sets.
Right. And, maybe, finding out if the concept of entrepreneurship sounds scary to you, place yourself around. I don't know if this is one of those steps, so I hope I'm not overstepping one of them, but I would say put yourself around people that are entrepreneurs so you can ask questions. And is that in there?
That is not in there because actually I'll just jump into the other one, but it's really to take a leap of faith on you. I really strongly believe, look, and I've said this a million times, and I'm sure you've heard me say it, Anita, as well, is I really believe that you need to be able to have faith and confidence in you. I often tell my clients, if you don't have faith in yourself, how do you expect me to have it for you? I can't. It doesn't work that way. It has to come from you. And if you believe in something so passionately, look at how successful many people on the Etsy store are doing, right? Because they are crafty. Right?
I think one of the biggest things I see people experience when it comes down to entrepreneurship or trying to decide that they're going to have their own business is oftentimes, especially if you go into business networking groups, like I think I'm going to join a group and whatever. I just started a business and all of a sudden you feel really super small because you see people that have these beautiful websites and everything's put together like so. I know I felt this. There's the handouts are just great. The business card, everything's together, and all I have is my little bag that has this little piece of paper and maybe a cards I made at Vistaprint for like cheap. This is all I have. So you end up feeling like I don't know if I could do this because I'm not where they are. And I just want to just add one more thing to this that. If you ever drive in the summertime, I always think of when you ever drive and you stop at a stoplight and you see on the corner between two streets, there's like a corner there and there's a little patch of grass. And then there's this like sign that's stuck into the grass that says, house cleaning, call this number. Okay. Mm-hmm. So many people start off with whatever they can, however they can, in the terms of what she mentioned earlier, like make it a hobby, make it a part-time job. And they do that. They stick that little sign there and they just kind of start. And from there, they grow and they grow. So when you think about people that are millionaires, most of them didn't start off that way. They all started the same way all of us are starting, where it's at the very beginning. We have an idea, we have a passion, and we go for it, and we stumble and fall. But you are so fortunate to be in this now if you make the decision, because the internet has a plethora of information. You have us that can tell you how to get through some of the steps so that you can be in a more comfortable position, and so many ways of being able to grow. So,
Anita, if I could piggyback to what you mentioned, which is very important, is choosing who you hang around with, choosing like-minded individuals for you to surround yourself with, because those individuals are going to be there to help you, to lift you, to guide you, to just show you the way.
Right.
If they are genuine, if they are authentic, and if they're not, They don't belong in your circle. If you really want to grow. So I think that's really important that you brought that into the mix. And then there's just one last thing actually that I thought of is the 80-20 rule. Okay. And for me, how I use the 80-20 rule is this: is 80% marketing, 20% product. It doesn't matter how good your product is, but if no one knows about it, it's not going to make a difference. See, like Anita, again, like you often say, Dale, you don't do a lot of marketing. Well, I do through word of mouth, right? So my product is getting out there. My services are getting out there. I join different networks. I don't know, I'm probably a member of 40 different groups through Facebook alone, social media. Normally, I will put just one quick post, and from that post, I will get 2 or 3 inquiries. Because what I do is very different. I set myself apart. I'm a publisher, but I'm not like any other publisher. I'm not a traditional publisher, and I'm not a self-publishing person. I consider myself a hybrid publisher with a message, with an intention, helping individuals right to heal from their past traumatic experiences so that your voices can be heard. It's a two-parter. You heal and then you shout. I'm here and I'm empowered. And that's what this is about. So that's what makes me different. And that's why I try to keep my branding, my marketing, my message always the same. Right to heal, right to heal, right to heal. My online course, right to heal. The books, accept responsibility, be happy, manifest happiness, be happy. It's always about that. It's so that you could be healed and bring this joy. Same thing with you, Anita. Everyone that works with you have such an amazing experience with the people that you work with. Why? Because you give them your all. You give them the service that you give speaks volumes. The service that you give to them is so that they can be the best version of themselves.
Right. And, we all come into this world with talent. We all have power. And that's what I talk about all the time is, the word power, you always think is something external that you got to plug into some outlet and there's your power. But we have electricity through our body. We actually have a temperature that tells you that you are 98.6 degrees or 97, whatever, but you're always a walking summer. You are constantly, you're on fire on the inside.
Yeah.
And so when you have that, there are powers that are intangible that have us think and feel, and then it makes us do. And the thing is we, like we said earlier, when we're talking about all these different experiences, that, we're groomed to thinking we should only be this when we can be this. And so it's good to be able to take a moment today with what you're hearing Dolly talk about, write these things down. Maybe you can say to yourself right now, Dolly, Anita, I've done this already. I already know what you're talking about. Do it again. Just do it again and be more clear about it. Be more intentional to see if I still said this the other day. I say this all the time. I am 48, will be 49 in a few months. And the thing is I still say, I want to be this when I grow up. Like, what am I going to do? Whenever I see somebody doing something amazing, I'm like, when I grow up, I'm going to make so much money like Jason Cisneros and I'm going to shake the world up. I just kind of have these moments where, I'm still growing up. I'm still learning, like you're talking about, learn, become a student and everything. So wherever you are right now, you can't think that your time is up because you were supposed to just do this one thing. If you're not doing this thing anymore and you've got this passion in your soul that's saying, I need to do something new, then start writing this stuff down and put yourself in those categories that Dolly was talking about. Be around entrepreneurs, ask questions, interview it, find out what the pains are in the market, and then rock and roll wear a new hat. It's kind of
absolutely fun. Yeah. Pick out a nice hat. It'd be a nice lot of bling.
Remember you with your hat? I mean, I know that you were wearing it in the beginning of the show.
Yeah,
when you started, and that changed your whole energy.
I know. I gotta find it. It's probably hanging in this closet. I have so many closets now. I can't remember where I put everything. But I'll tell you this. One last thing I wanted to add is leaders read. Leaders read. So if you're I pulled out this book.
They might listen on an audio because I'm hearing that a lot of people aren't reading. I'm hearing that they're always listening to audio. I'm not an audiobook person. I have to read.
I like to have a hard copy.
Okay, so that's the book. Okay, the 4-Hour Work Week. Are you reading that right now?
I'm reading this book. Okay, so this book I read it back in 2007. and it's in my library. And then this weekend, I was in my meetup. I was hosting my meetup group. And all of a sudden, one of the guests said something, and she reminded me of this book. So I pulled it out and I said, "Hey, you gotta go and find this book so you can read it. It's a great book. I read it years ago. Great book. But I love books, so I keep all my books." So then, because I had it out, I picked it up and I started reading it again. And I got some major golden nuggets from this book, although it's 14 years old.
And
So
you're reading it again. And that's the thing. Like, we miss sometimes wherever we are at that time, you get something really great out of it. But you're a different woman today than you were back then. And your thoughts and perspectives are different, and how you absorb the words are different. So
right.
you do want to read those great books again. I think that's great that you do that.
Well, not only am I reading it, I'm actually putting it into action. This individual shared so many resources on how you can automate things, how you can, handle your workload a little bit better, and so on and so forth. But he showed a lot of different resources. I'm online. I'm researching these resources. I'm like, "Ooh, that's interesting." I'm calling the companies. I'm leaving messages. "I want to talk to you about this. Can I talk to the president? Can I talk to the owner? I want to learn. Does it make sense for my company to hire your company so that you can do this for me?" I feel like I'm at a different level. Why? Because I opened the book.
Right.
But I know not everyone is like me, and I know everyone has a place, everyone has a role. But my point is this: if there is a desire inside of you that wants more, that seeks more, and that is afraid to take a chance, I'll tell you this: on the other side of fear, there's freedom. And if you took a chance on you, you may be surprised how great a chance and what a wonderful blessing it may be.
Yeah.
So I encourage you to try it, even if it's just on weekends, like I said, or if you work on weekends on your day off, whatever it may be, just try something that brings you that extra joy, and perhaps you can make some money out of it, and who knows where it may lead you.
Yeah. And, I hope that you can get yourself to a place where you're just right now. Sometimes people get really nervous with the idea of starting something new. Right now, just use your imagination. That's why you have it. It's there. It's so powerful that you can actually imagine, what would it be like if I were going to, be an entrepreneur? What do I need? What questions do I have? And really work hard to eliminate the fear by replacing it with excitement, adventure. Look, and I'm saying this to you with all my heart, for real, because I just told you twice on this show that I did not want to do that. Like, I don't want to own a business. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to get into acting. I wanted to be out there and share a story on the silver screen. That was my idea, or be on the radio. Like, I did not have any interest in owning a business, but it happened. And what I learned about it was, I thought, like everything that you were hearing from me earlier, I thought it had to look like this. The stars have to align like so. I have to have this, and I don't have these things. They have it. And all these fears were happening. And eventually I started saying to myself, that's not what it's about.
Right.
Think about all of the people who own businesses, who are managers, who are leaders of some kind. They are all shapes, sizes, colors, creeds, what have you. People are all over the world just wanting to give something to you so that you could have a better day. And if you have something that you want to give to others so that they can have a better day, then focus on that. Everything else will fall into place. Draft things out. Ask your questions. Go through the list that Dolly shared, and then come talk to us. We'll tell you more for an hour or two.
Why don't we take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Okay. I want to take a second here. I know we've got like 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
But look, those of you that are watching and not sharing any information, that's okay. We hope that you can share your thoughts by typing in the comments, like, I'm watching, I appreciate, or I have a question. Like, interact with us and let us know, because we don't know that you're watching. But those of you who are watching, Sonia and Rima, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, being a part of this. I'm just so touched that you were looking forward to hearing what we have to say. We do really, truly hope that you are getting something good from the way that we're sharing it, and we're giving you literal information that is very helpful. All we can do at the time frame that we have is have fun with you and give you some information that you can kind of dive a little bit deeper on your own. Because we're all adults. All we need is a little bit of that nugget, and then we got to do our own research and have the resources, and that's why we did this. Something that I like to say is the show is designed to get your mind to use all the powers within you while you're also embracing all of the powerful resources around you. And gosh, Dolly and I, we have each other, we have what we do, but we also know a lot of resources for you.
Yes.
So, embrace that. Thank you. I was reading the comments, Dolly. I don't know if you were looking at the comments.
No, I'm looking at them. I mean, look at Rima just put on here. I love the little hearts. I love when I get the hearts. So, but it says, ooh, I look forward to your sessions every week. She put, the business had a purpose to get you into it, Anita. You are awesome and are the right person for your mission. Amazing.
Almost got me choked up there, Rima. You have to not be so adorable and amazing.
She is adorable. Sonia says, confidence and compassion are seeds of growth in any business. And she also put, it never hurts to reread a good book. Inspiration
totally
changes. Are you kidding? For me, it was just like, boom. I was like, oh man, I got another idea. It put me on fire. And then I have Rima, I love this one. Thank you so much. She says, what I love about your shows are the authenticity and simple way of bringing in the information for everyone and based off your own experiences, which makes everyone listening relate to you. Love you, ladies. Kudos to you both. And I really don't understand why you want to change it to 30 minutes. I don't know.
Like, everyone's been telling us that, they don't have the time to listen to what we have to say. And I'm like, but it's valuable. What are you talking about? But then they'll say, Instagram is 30 minutes and all these different comments are coming along. And what we care about, we know we're realizing this now, that we want to make it powerful and important for you to watch and listen and take notes and do something good for yourself. And so each topic we have, we're both very passionate about it, but we don't like to say, do this, goodbye. We want to be able to talk with you and have good conversation and build relationships with you. So I guess that's why it does go past 30 minutes. We're not a 30-minute people.
Maybe we'll need to just go to 45. I don't know. Maybe we can try that. But listen, there's only one last thing I wanted to add regarding this thing on entrepreneurship. If you are passionate about whatever it is that you want to do, follow your heart and do not let naysayers get in the way. Follow your heart, because oftentimes the naysayers are the same people that have never succeeded in anything. And they're the ones that are holding you back. And some may be intentional, but many may not. They just don't know any better. They don't know what it is to become an entrepreneur. They don't know what it is to chase a dream. Just follow your heart. That's my number one advice. Follow your heart.
Yeah. I think, when it comes down to it, when you know that you have a purpose and you want to give, and there are people that don't have what you have, it's important. You do have a purpose. Every day you wake up, you've got a purpose. You're still here. When your purpose is done, you won't be here anymore. You won't. So the fact that you wake up means you're here to do something very important, and you've got to look within to see who is it that you really are outside of all of the stuff that others have told you. And if you reach for what those powers are, you start drafting things. And look, we're talking about people that want to start being an entrepreneur. We can go past that. Let's say you are one right now and you're reaching a stagnant position, meaning you've climbed a little bit and now you're kind of like plateauing and you're not really sure what to do. I've been there. Like, I did this a certain way for a certain while. I need to do more. I never saw myself doing a show with Dolly Cortez. I didn't know I was even going to do a show. I don't know. Like, these things just start showing up. It's almost like playing a video game, because once you get through one level, you suddenly open. You could tell I played video games with my family. it opens the door to a whole new world. And you're like, oh, what's this? So
Yeah.
that happens in entrepreneurship. It actually is a phenomenal, amazing adventure. And if you are someone that wants to experience that, I think while you have a life and you're existing and you're here, experience it. Give it a try. There's nothing more exciting than to see that your value is really being honored by people.
Well, absolutely. And you know what? I speak from my experiences, like obviously you speak from yours, but when I opened my company, my first month in sales, okay, was twice the income that I would have gotten on a regular month. My first month was twice as much. Okay. And I was pretty freaking cool. That just was like, that was just an affirmation that I was doing what I needed to do, that I was passionate, because I've always worked so hard for everybody else. And this time I was working really hard for me. And with that being said, everyone, thank you so very much for joining us tonight at the DNA Authority. Anita Myers-Powers, you're amazing. I adore you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Dolly. And, I'll put in the comments when we're all done with the show, I've got a little something for those of you who are entrepreneurs that want to get your emotional message. When you think about your message to your market, are you putting an emotional intelligence spin on what you want people to say? When I say spin, I mean, you got to be able to get them to understand your message and how are you carrying it across? I've got a program for you and I'll share it in the comments. If you're interested, let me know and I'll help you out.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, everyone.